Danessa, what are you doing to me? Are you seeing what this does to the look? If you're a fan of sparkle, you're just going to be going absolutely berserk when you try this. I don't think any makeup I've ever put on in my life has made me feel quite as delighted as these. Is it possible to be any more delighted? Look at that. Hi everybody, so today I've got a super exciting video, probably one of the most requested reviews I've had from you this year, and that is the Danessa Myricks sticks. These are the Colorfix sticks, so if you already know the Colorfix in the tubes, the liquid, this is the stick form, and we have two different formulas, top and bottom. We have the metallic and we have the foil, which can be used together. They can be chopped and changed. I promised myself 3 shades only, and something went very wrong. I don't know, I didn't get all of them, because Danessa Myricks is one of the most exciting releases ever, always, when it comes to eyeshadows, and these are so exciting. I absolutely cannot wait to try these out. I want to try them everywhere if I can, because apparently, just like with the liquid tubes, you can use these on the face, the lips, the cheeks, highlight, blush. You can use it obviously on the eyes, which is the main purpose for me. But I'm going to try all of that. So I've got a pretty much blank face ready to give this a go. I'll try out several looks and we can see how they all look. I cannot wait to get started with this one. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, I would love it ever so much if you did hit that subscribe button. Lots of you tune in without subscribing, so if you could, that would really be helpful to me. But if you're already subscribed, thank you very much for being here. And my skin tone for matching up with these shades, if you're interested, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that lean a bit neutral, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's dive straight into this fabulous review. And it's got to be fabulous, hasn't it? So these are magnetic, so they're already quite fun trying to hold them all together. I don't know if I can get them all in a line. Let me see. I can get 3 to hold together. As soon as I go more than 3, it seems to be too heavy. Anyway, I'm just playing around with the magnets here. But I think the idea of this is you can separate them. So you've got your 2 pens there, and you can change around which one goes in the bottom. So these are completely customizable as well, which is just another innovative design from Danessa. Danessa comes out with the most incredible designs. So if you have a closer look at this here, you've got the Danessa Myricks logo there. And then you've got the 2 shades that I'm not going to separate them because I want to keep them together. But obviously if you're going to buy a couple of these pens, you can chop and change, or just take one out with you if you just want one in your bag, or you can chop and change and have 2 different ones. So I really love that. It's just so innovative, isn't she? So the reason I've got this many is I originally ordered 5, having promised myself only 3, but I didn't order them direct from the Danessa Myricks website. So yeah, the 2 shades I was most excited about were exclusive to Danessa Myricks, so when I was able to get those, I got those and added them on. Even though I've just looked at them and I've literally spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out, have I bought the exact same one here? Look at these 2. Look at the shades. Don't they look the same? But I have just quickly looked at the colour on the pen and they are different, so I haven't ordered the same. I'm struggling at the moment to be able to tell what they are name-wise from reading them on the actual... Does it have the number somewhere? Ah, there we go. So the numbers are on here. So that would have been a much quicker way for me to figure that one out. So these 2 blues, they look like blues. I've got number 8 and number 9. It was 9 and 10 that I got from the Danessa Myricks website, so I'm so relieved about that number. Oh, well done, Danessa. That's another genius move. So it's really easy to identify them because they've just got these numbers in nice big writing. I don't need my magnifying glass. Well, there we go. There's another bonus. Just a quick note, if you order this from Sephora UK, I have a 15% off discount code which works for Danessa Myricks products, and it is Han SPH, HAN-SPH. I'll pop that on the screen as well, just to let you know in the UK. Sorry, my discount code only works in the UK for Sephora. So I watched a Danessa Myricks demonstration when this very first launched, which was actually when I was on holiday, and I noted down a phrase she actually said. She said, "No tools, no rules, tap on the shine and throw the protection cap away." So no tools. She says to not use any tools. Now that really bothers me because I like to use tools, but Danessa is the expert. This is her product and she knows best. So we have to at least try that once. No tools, no rules. In other words, just do anything you like. So these pens are a multi-use pearl pigment stick with a refreshing cooling sensation, featuring the magnetic mix and match freedom system, which we just looked at, customizable packaging, innovative sticks offering effortless glide-on application with a refreshing cooling sensation, which we've just said, awakening eyes, cheeks and lips, whether you're creating a quick one-swipe look or going for a bold artistic effect. This versatile formula has you covered. Gently tap or swipe onto the eyes, cheeks or lips, swipe on the metallics, tap on the foils. So I think that's quite important. So swipe on and then pat on the foils, okay? So for eyeshadows, apply as a base, wear solo or blend multiple shades together for a customized look. You can highlight on the top of the cheekbones. It doesn't say to use as blush, which makes sense. And for lips, you can put them directly onto the lips for a glowing, radiant finish. So that is absolutely all the information I've got. The only thing to do next is start looking at the colours. So the only shades I didn't get are numbers 3, 4 and 5 if you've seen the shades. So I'll be showing you everything apart from 3, 4 and 5. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of it in one video because I know that this formula in the liquid formula, it dries down and it stays there all day. So I don't know how easily I'm going to get these off the eye. So I might break this video up into a couple of days. We'll see how I get on. But I will be doing one look on each side at least to speed that up because there's so many. So I think those two that I thought looked similar would be good ones to compare side by side. So that's 9 and 10, I think it was. Let me look at any others I think look a bit similar. And I'm only looking at the colours on the sticks. Okay, so I've matched up a few that look relatively similar, and I'll start with the first two that I found. So this is number 7. So when you take them both off, the central piece can actually be put away. Oh God, it's got such a strong magnet. They're all leaping to each other. So fun, I love it. Look at me, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. Look. Just so much fun. I used to love magnets when I was a kid. I clearly still do. Anyway, so this little central piece, they were just really strong magnet. Oh, I love it. Don't put these near your Westman Atelier lipsticks or you'll be fighting with them all day long. That's the only slight problem. Not that that is a problem, but anyway. I think I'll leave it inside that central piece. So let's look at the two shades we have. So we have the metallic for number 7. So the cap, in her advert, she literally said, take it off and throw it away. I can't do that because my OCD will make me go and hunt for it in the dark, but I'll put it down there and throw it away afterwards. So you put the metallic on first and then the foil on the top, and you just use your fingers. Let me just swatch it first. Oh wow, what a start. What a start. Look at that. Oh, Danessa. She makes me so happy. So let's just swipe this on the eye. It feels very creamy. And that cooling sensation that she mentioned. So she said to just use fingers. So let's try it. Not something I'm a fan of, but I will try it for at least one look. So you can shear this out with your finger. And you can see that when I take it above the crease, it's shearing out more. Actually, do you know what? That was surprisingly easy. Surprisingly easy. Wow. Okay, I zoom you in a bit. So let's try it a bit more. You can see how you just want to leave it, because obviously rubbing it in means that you lose a bit of that finish. I'm getting that dry down feeling already though, so I do think maybe you need to work fairly quickly, because I can feel the first layer already drying down. So don't think you can just swipe it and then spend forever talking about it like I just did. Just do it straight away. How quick and easy is that? I think I will take a little bit more now without, so I'm just swipe. I can't just leave it like that though, I feel like it needs to be a bit tidier. But I also don't want to lose what's there. Maybe I'll just use my finger to blend it into the crease a bit. I'm already feeling I need a brush. I just feel like I can be so much more precise with a brush, but I do hope this is showing you. You can definitely just do this with your finger. Maybe take a bit above the crease there and then blend that. I want to see the colour above my crease a bit because I've got hooded lids. These are so easy. Oh gosh, people are going to love these. Well, I knew they would. But do you need to do anything else other than what I've just done? Because that's already a stunning look on its own. And there's just been no tools. No tools, no rules, remember? So let's try it underneath. Is it going to be too thick for that? Because it is quite a wide pan. Nope. It's so cooling, it really is. I don't know what is in it to cause that cooling, but it's lovely. Wow. So now let's try the foil, which you tap. Did you tap the actual pen on? Can't remember now. I watched this video on holiday and I can't actually remember. So let's look at it on my hand first. So there is the foil. So this is number 7, metallic, and there's the foil. So with the foil it says to tap. So I don't know if she means you just tap this across. Is that what she means? Very similar colours these actually, when you're building them together. Oh, wow, look at that effect. That's taken it up a notch. And I am just tapping, I'm not swiping. I think swiping might remove the metallic a bit, so that's why you just tap. I'm going to try this exact same process, but with a brush as well, on the other side with the other colour. Oh wow. Look at that. That is something special. I really hope that comes across on camera as much as I'm seeing it in the mirror. Wow. Oh, that's stunning. I just want to keep tapping it everywhere. Oh wow. I'm going to use my Merit number 2 brush, which I love to use for creams. And now I'm going to, I know I said no fingers on this side, but I just can't quite resist tidying up the edge a bit with a brush. It just makes it a bit more neat. And I think what I would probably do now is go in with a dark liner, a pop of something really bright in the inner corner, mascara, off we go. You really don't need anything else though on the eye. That's got to be one of the quickest party looks I have ever created. Look at it, it's so stunning. So let's look at the next one now. I'm trying to decide which ones I could try on my face. I think I'll decide at the end because I'm not going to use all of them, but I am going to use some as sort of highlight shade. I don't really have much in the way of blush. Some of these colours I'm wondering if they could be almost like glowy highlight blush all in one, but we'll see what shades I've got first before I decide. So let's try the one I think looks a bit similar shade wise. So this one is number 6. Number 7, by the way, the one that I've just got on, the foil in this one is Aurora Radiance, which is a holographic rustic metal foil with shifts of pink and gold sparkle, which is that fabulous sparkle we just saw on the top there. And Magic Hour is the metallic, and that's a burnt bronze metallic with golden sands glimmer. I should have said that when I first showed you, but anyway, that's the description there for number 7. I'm going to leave it there actually to see if it dries down. So the next one I'm going to show you is number 6, and this metallic shade, which I'll just put on my hand, is described as Celeste, a golden metallic taupe. So here it is, and this has a rich tawny shimmer. So this is the swipe because it's metallic. I can see this shade being very popular as an everyday. So if you're just going to I've been a bit more generous this time. I was going to say, if you're just going to go with the metallic only for your one and done, I can see it's been a really good everyday going to work sort of shade. See straight away with the brush, I prefer that. It's actually quicker for me with the brush than with my finger. I was fussing longer with the brush, with my finger I mean. Highly recommend the Merit number 2 brush for this. And again with Merit number 2, you could take this smaller tip here and you could go onto it and then apply a thinner layer. But I'm not going to do that because it went well this side when I just used it directly on. So this is obviously giving you quite a thick layer. If you wanted a thinner layer, that would be a good option. I would still go in with some sort of dark liner here and mascara, but that would be a look in itself, wouldn't it? Just that one on its own. So now another way of doing it would be to take some onto the thicker end of the Merit number 2 and take some up here if you don't want to swipe on. Again, no rules, do it your way, whichever works best for you. I don't know if this close-up is going to be blurring as I'm moving, but I'll leave it close up so you can see it a bit better. Let me know in the comments if this close-up is driving you mad or if it's helpful. Even though I'm about to change cameras, I've actually got my new camera. I've been talking to you about my having some funny comments, which I don't know if they were genuine or not, but anyway, I do think my camera's been playing up and there's a couple of things I don't like about it. So I do have a new camera which is going to have a different zoom. But anyway, so now is the perfect time to test out the zoom on my old camera, which I'm going to stop using. Anyway, take a bit more on the brush. Certainly as you blend it out, this will sheer out, which is what's happening above. And if you want to keep that really full impact colour, then just swipe it on and don't really touch it too much, which is what I did with this look. I swiped it across the mobile lid and the only bit I've touched with the brush was the blending out bit here. And that gives you that sort of high impact across the lid. Now I have heard these are emphasising lines. I don't think that one is terribly emphasising my mature skin. What do you think? I don't think it is. This one maybe is a bit more. This one I can see my lines more, but we haven't put the foil on. Maybe it'll change when I put the foil on top. So let's have a look. So the foil on this one is Holographic Blushed Gold with shifts of silver and gold sparkle. Oh, this looks pretty. Whoa, look at that. Beautiful combination. I can definitely see a lot of people going for this number 6 combination. So now tap on, and I will just tap directly and not use the brush. Danessa, what are you doing to me? I would have said if I wrote down my dream makeup product it would be this, but I wouldn't have dreamt this up because this is just so unique. I wouldn't have even thought of it. Danessa Myricks deserves awards for this. This is just something else. Wow, look at that sparkle. And you do just tap and it's done. It's so easy. If anyone has ever been scared of Danessa Myricks products because they look like they're very sort of artistic, these are absolutely the easiest things I think I've ever tried in my life. So please, please, if you're nervous about these sorts of products, but you want to have this sort of look, this would be the one to go for. Do not be put off. They are so easy. Anyone can do this look, anyone. My effort level is 1 right now. And look at it. It would look a lot better with eyeliner and mascara, but I have to be a bit kind to my eyes here and stop there. I could actually try patting the shimmer underneath the foil rather. If you want to see it turn up a little bit there. And we could also, I don't think I like that though. In a corner. Oh yeah, that works. This could be a nice one for a highlight as well, this one. But I haven't just made my mind up on which one to try yet. Maybe I should try one of these on the lips though. Which one should I try on my lips? I'm not sure about a foil on the lips. I think I'll go back to number 7, I'll get a brush. I don't want to put it directly onto my lips when I'm using it on my eyes. So I'll take some with my lip brush that I use, which is actually an old eyeshadow brush. And I'll take some of the metallic from number 7, like this, and just put some on the lips. Wow, look at that. Oh, this really is a party vibe. Again, it feels very cooling on the lips, lovely. Well, as I feared, it's emphasising the lines on my lips terribly, so I don't think I'll be using these on my lips. What do you think? I like the colour as a party look, but it's emphasising the lines. Let me try the foil on top. I'll actually put a bit of this on my finger now and just pat the foil on my lip. Is it making the lines better? Maybe they look a bit better, but they look a bit bonkers and they feel like they're drying out already. So I don't think, gosh, that went a bit smooshy, you know, from me tapping on it. It is really creamy. Look at the pen there. So be a bit careful, because that did go quite smooshy just from me touching it like that. In fact, where I've put the pen down, it's landed on my makeup thing there. Oh, so I lost quite a bit of, I lost the tip. Is that my fault? Did I put it down too harsh? So I've got the actual tip there on my finger, it's actually fallen off. So be really careful with these, they are very soft and crumbly. Maybe I put the lid down without twisting it all the way. Oh gosh. My lips feel so dry. There's no way I can wear these on my lips, no way. I could put an oil on the top just to see if that makes it a bit easier, just to experiment. Just got a Fenty oil here. I still don't like the way it looks though, it's emphasising every line still, even with the oil. It does look better. I'll tell you what, I'll leave this one on while I take everything off my eyes. So let's just look again at these colours. Number 7, number 6. Beautiful. I can't wait to play around with these and do different things and swap them around as well. I really can't wait. But I do think this whole look will look so much better when I've got colour on my cheeks, lined my eyes and got mascara on. So I can't do all of that without really upsetting my skin and my eyes. But I will for the final look, obviously. I just want to see as well if these have dried down on my hand. So let's look. Oh wow, yeah. So getting these off my eyes is going to be fun. This one here moved a bit, but that was the more recent. No, it wasn't. That was the first. So that one moved a bit, but these didn't move at all. Isn't that funny? It was just one of them for some reason. So this one was number 7. Number 6 seems to have better longevity, and this was the one that was a bit wet and smushy. Oh, that's something to think about. Maybe they're not quite that consistent, but I'm using just a makeup wipe and it's come off. So that's quite good actually. Maybe it won't be too difficult for me on the eyes. I think I'll actually show you me taking it off so you can see for yourself. So I've got here just a normal cleansing wipe, which I don't normally like to use to take my makeup off, but for something like this I will. If the wipe itself isn't enough, I will add a bit of micellar water. So let's see now, it worked on my hand. Oh, that does come off quite easily. Oh, well that's a relief. Well, I was thinking I was going to have to really scrub my eyes to get this off, and I wouldn't be able to do many looks today, but that isn't hurting at all. I'm being quite soft and gentle. That's pretty much off, so that's really good news. And I didn't need to use any sort of oil-based cleanser or micellar water, just using a cleansing wipe, a gentle cleansing wipe. It's gone. Well, that was easy. Another tick. Anyway, I'll take this off and be back to show you the next one. So I've just put some concealer on and I haven't powdered. With those first 2 looks, my eyes were actually powdered, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any difference in the way it applies. But it was interesting to see, I didn't mention it at the time, but it was interesting to see how those first 2 looks applied on top of powder and they applied very well and blended very well, but they might just blend out even more easily now I don't have powder on. So the first one I'm going to look at now is number 2. And the metallic is Orion Nebula, a burgundy metallic. This one looks quite bold for me and a bit dark, to be honest, with taupe shimmer. So let's just go for it. Swipe. And then I'm going to take the Merit number 2 brush. I can feel it moving a tad more easily, but not much difference, going on top of just concealer, no powder. But you definitely wouldn't need to powder because these set themselves, so you could go in with absolutely nothing on your lid actually. I like to have a bit of concealer there just to balance out the colour in my eyes. But I think this sort of shade, that's probably about as much as I'd want to take it up. But if you've got a deeper skin tone or you just prefer a more adventurous, bold look, I think you could really build this one up quite a bit more. I will take a bit more because I have blended out most of that. Starting to get a little bit deep for my personal taste, that. But still, it's a one and done. Let me take a little bit on the brush again and take it up above. And now I'm going to take this underneath. Such a nice feeling, this cooling sensation, particularly underneath. That works well as a lining shade on me, so I would probably go in with the thinner tip of the Merit here to make this a little bit more precise. This would be an example of how you can go back in with the tip of this brush rather, and use it, sort of see how I can take it there and sort of build a bit of a wing with it by having more of an intense amount of pigment. Oh yeah, I like that. I would tidy up a little bit around this area here with concealer or powder, but I'm not going to worry too much about the sort of perfection of this look right now. You can see that it did sort of blend out. I'm being very rough, but I would tidy this up a lot more if I was doing this as my final look. But now let's try, I did put it on my hand, what am I talking about? Now let's try the foil. So this is called Twilight Gleam, and this is a copper rose. This combination, this is going to transform this look. Look at that. So this has shifts of pink and gold sparkle. So let's just do this tapping. Oh gosh, it's just like a bit of wizardry, a bit of magic. It totally transforms the look. Oh, these are so pretty. It's so tempting to swipe, but it does really work with the tap. Oh, I love that. Wow. I can't see me ever going just for the metallic with these, because when you add that topper foil, it is something else, it really is. That is gorgeous. But you could argue with, I think all the ones I've tried so far, you could argue these are day to night looks. So metallic for the day, add the foil for the night, ready to party. What do you think of that one? Beautiful, isn't it? So then we have number 2. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one I've got that's relatively similar is number 1. This one has a metallic called Mystic Taupe. Whoa, okay, this is quite dark. And here is Mystic Taupe, described as a taupe metallic with warm silvery shimmer. This is going to be quite deep for me. Wow, it's really beautiful though. I'm going to take this quite up and be a bit messy like that, so it's really messy, just so we can see. Can you afford to be that messy with these strong colours? Now I'm going to take this. Oh, I'm wondering if I might have just... We don't have a lot of time before these are drying in. Just about got away with that messy bit there. So don't mess about if you do a messy application like that. Be pretty quick. the dry down is pretty fast. But they move so easily. Can you see that? I really hope, because I can't actually see, that when this is zoomed in and I'm doing this, it's not blurring and it's awful. I'm really hoping you're getting quite a good image here. Never filmed this close up before. It's a bit of an experiment. So I hope it's not a disaster. I'll try this now underneath as well. Again, this is quite a good liner shade for me. Might take a bit on the fine nib like I did with the other side and take it a bit more intensely closer to the lash line there. Yep, does the same job as the other side. And then taking a little bit on the fluffy end of the brush, just taking a little bit more above. I want to see it above my lid, but not quite as much pigment as I've got on the mobile lid. Yeah, I think that's enough. I think my camera is doing this thing, which is one of the reasons I want to change it, where it's trying to change the lighting in the room to match what it's seeing. So it's pretty much matching up with this, and it makes the light go dark. That's one of the problems I've got with this camera, which may just be a setting issue, but I've got this new camera which is recommended for YouTube, and I'm going to try that one out and get all the settings right, but I don't know when I'll actually start using it, because I think I need to really play around with it quite a bit first. So please bear with me when it changes the lighting like that, because I don't know why it does it or how to stop it. So now let's try the foil that comes with number 1. So this is described as holographic, Interstellar holographic foil with shifts of pink, silver and gold sparkle. So this is going to really bring this is going to really bring some light to this dark silvery look. So let's just start tapping. Oh wow. Look at this, just magic. I'm going to keep saying that, aren't I? But are you seeing what this does to the look? If you're a fan of sparkle, you're just going to be going absolutely berserk when you try this. I don't think any makeup I've ever put on in my life has made me feel quite as delighted as these. Is it possible to be any more delighted? Look at that. I think this one would be a good inner corner shade. Yep, I could try a bit on that side as well. An example of how the mix and match could work. That is a bit too much shimmer for me on the inner corner though. I would rather go for a matte because I don't like highlighting that area. If you do, then it's definitely a good option. This would be quite a good highlighter shade for my skin tone, so I think I'll be keeping this one in mind as a potential for my highlighter at the end. I'm still leaving the lips here, but they're very comfortable, but let's take them off. That oil really helped because I think they still look better. You're not seeing the lines quite as much and they're very comfortable, they're not drying. So using this formula with oil on top works very well actually. So let's take it off. So I've got rid of that awful lipstick. Editing me here, I actually put the shade that I last put on my eyes on my lips and it looked absolutely horrendous. I looked like I was dressing up for Halloween. Luckily for you, I wasn't pressing record when I thought I was, so you've missed that. And I've put some of the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Duo in Fair on my lips, and I've just added a little bit of natural blush, which I think makes everything come together and makes me look a little bit less Halloween-esque. And this is the final look that I'm showing you, well, minus mascara and liner, with the number 2 and the number 1. Aren't they something? They really are. Which is your favourite? I definitely wouldn't use this glitter in the inner corner for my final look, which I won't, but I'm just playing around, so please keep that in mind. My final look, I will definitely create a look that I think is wearable for me. Anyway, I'll just quickly go off camera, remove this and be back to show you the next two. So now I'm going to try on the two that at the beginning I thought I'd made a mistake and bought two of exactly the same colour because the colours on the pens look so similar. So let's see how similar they actually are. So let's start with the metallic as always. This one is number 8 I'm starting with, and the metallic in this one is called Draco, a smoky steel metallic with a gunmetal shimmer. There it is. So let's just get this straight on. Oh, that's pretty. I like that one. So just quickly blending out with the Merit brush again. Taking some on the brush to bring that colour above a little bit. Don't want to colour this deep to be going too much above the mobile lid for me. Maybe I'll actually take some, swipe some directly on there just to get a bit more. It's quite amazing how these go on, like such a wet, cool cream, but in seconds they're dry. Oh, I really like this one. I'm going to take this underneath. A bit on the small end of this brush. Again, that's quite a nice liner shade. I'm not sure if you'd need a liner with this. Oh, that is really nice. Really like that one. Can't wait to see the foil that goes with this one now. So the foil that goes with this one is called Meteorite, and this one is a holographic opal foil with indigo and lilac sparkle. See why I'm excited? Whoa, look at that. Oh gosh, this is exciting. So let's start patting this beauty over the top. This one would probably be quite nice on its own though, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're just going to stick today to the two together, but obviously we can try all sorts of things with these, just the foils on their own. Because you can see without it being on top, that would be quite a nice colour just on its own. But it does pop when you put it over this. Oh, that is something else, isn't it? Look at that. I need to stop. I just want to tap and tap and tap because I just love it, but I need to be careful not to go crazy. Oh, look at that. This one's my favourite so far, number 8. I won't put this one, well, I might as well put it in the middle, but I wouldn't, sorry, the inner corner. I don't think I would. Actually, that's not too bad in the inner corner, that one. That was quite nice. Oh, so I would put that one on the inner corner. Oh, that's so nice. I'm excited to try the other one now. So now I'm going in with number 9, and the metallic for number 9, it says it's a midnight blue metallic with indigo and baby blue shimmer. It does look very different actually. Whoa. Oh. Look at that. Wow. So this looks like it's very deep for me, but we're going to be putting that lighter foil on. Oh, that's pretty though, isn't it? So again, this is going directly onto concealer, no powder. Because this is so dark, I didn't put too much on, and I'm just blending it out to see how this would be a more wearable shade for me if I just wear it lightly like that. And you can see how easily you can do that, so you don't need to have that really bold initial colour that you get from that first application. You can just go for it nicely sheared out like that. I'll put a little bit more here and just build it up a bit at the top and the outer V there. This could be a lot deeper, but because I'm taking it off, I can probably do that. I can risk it. I don't think I would choose to wear a colour like this quite as bold on me, but it's coming straight off for the last look, so why not? So let's take this underneath. Now this is definitely going to be deep enough to be a liner. Oh, that was a bit too thick for me. I closed my eye then as I was applying it and it just smudged underneath. Let's take a Q-tip and quickly grab that before it dries down. That was easy to fix. That does look very dark on me. But like I said, I liked my initial light application of this. I don't like how dark it is, but we are going to put something a lot lighter on top, which will transform it as well. So let's not judge the look yet. Let's try the foil. So the foil that comes with number 9. This is Smoky Lilac with an opal sparkle. So another lilac. I'm so pleased we have 2 lilacs in this release. So here it is. So not quite as light as this one with number 9. Number 8, sorry. This one is number 9. So now let's pat this over, and I'm going to be quite generous on that inner section. I really don't like that dark blue in my inner section. It's too much for me. Part of me wishes I had kept it sheer, because I think this would look prettier if it was going on top of less colour on me. I think it's a little bit too dark to really show off that lilac. And to do that, I'm breaking the rules of pat. I'm actually swiping the foil across the top to get a bit more impact, because I don't mind if I lose a bit of that metallic underneath. Oh, that is pretty. So I think what I would do is maybe take something like a concealer on my brush, to lighten up this area here where I didn't want that darkness. Yeah, straight away that looks better. So my tip with this really deep blue, especially if you're light skinned like me, is not to let it build at all in this area here. So when you apply it, swipe it just there, and maybe don't swipe it there at all. Take a light layer and then go over with the lilac, and that's going to look a lot better. That's just a very quick way of rescuing it. So I'm using my concealer here from Tarte, so I just took a little bit on the brush and did that, and it's rescued it very quickly, very easily. And now I really like it. Wow, look at the shift when you turn like that, isn't it gorgeous? But this one's the best one for me. But as I've said several times now, I think this one with a more sheer metallic would look better. But we have to try these at some point on their own as well, the foils. I can't wait to try that, because imagine these two on their own. Maybe just have something really simple like bronzer in the crease and just that all over the lid. Looking forward to trying those. I'll probably play around with these a lot over the coming months, because I can see me wanting to. So I'll probably make shorts, reels and things and show you different ways I'm using them. So anyway, this one is number 8, my current favourite, and number 9, probably my second favourite. What do you think? Anyway, let's take them off and try the last one on, which has green in it. So I've saved number 10 till last, which is the green. Well, it has a green in it anyway. So the metallic in this is called Shadow Eclipse, and this is a dark olive metallic with a taupe. I can't wait for the foil on this one. This does look very dark though, so I think I'm going to, because I said this is going to be my final look, so it says that this is a dark olive metallic, but it's very dark. I don't see the olive an awful lot in that, do you? It looks almost grey to me. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right one. Yeah, it is number 10. I'm going to apply this, being my final look, the way I'm more likely to want to wear it, so I'm not going to overbuild a deep colour. That is actually looking lovely, but it doesn't look olive to me. What do you think? It looks quite silvery and grey. Anyway, that is really pretty. So to avoid me needing to fix with concealer, I'm being very careful with the amount going on. I do not want a lot of this when it's this dark. So just taking a little bit there, more close to the lash line, to the outer V. And then just making sure a tiny bit of it's coming there into the inner section, so I don't have darkness building here at all. And now I'll take some on the brush to build some higher up here. Definitely when you take it on the brush, it goes on in a very sheer way, whereas when you swipe straight on, that's where you get that really big pop of colour, like so. I'm going to take it underneath to line. So I've just done the same on the other side. So I've got a light dusting of that metallic, and now I'm going to go in with the sage, which I cannot wait for. So this one is described as, it's called Shadow Eclipse, and it's a, no it's not, that's the metallic. It's called Galaxy Crush, and it's a sage green foil with a champagne sparkle. Can't wait for this one. Look at this, honestly. Look at those. Right. Time to just pat this on, and because I went, oh look at this, because I went lightly with that metallic, I should see much more of the green. Oh. I am actually swiping a tiny bit because I really want the impact with that. Whoa, look at this. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. Oh, this is just sensational. I love it. This is definitely my new favourite. This one and number 8. I'm saying 8, I'm getting all these numbers confused. So 8 and 10 are my favourites. Oh wow, 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 look at that. Danessa Myricks, I adore you. And remember, if you just pat this on, the effect I got, like this, still pretty impressive. But I did end up swiping it a little bit on the mobile lid to get that, that payoff. Wow, look at it. Oh my goodness, this is just, oh, makeup perfection. Release of the year. I said the same last year with Lightwork 6. I mean, is Danessa going to come out with Lightwork 7 this year? I don't think I can cope if she is. I think we need to stop here and just use these for the rest of the year, Danessa. I just can't cope with any more wonderful makeup. I just want to play with this one every day. Do you love it as much as me? I do want to take a little bit on the thin end and take it underneath. I know it's a foil and it's a bit dodgy, but let's not go close to the inner corner. Yeah, I think I can get away with that. Do need to be careful with mature lids and eyes generally, and I have gone a bit too far, so quickly before it dries, use the Q-tip to take it off a bit there. Oh yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it, and I don't think these foils emphasize my lines at all. What do you think? I think they're mature skin friendly myself. I think they are gorgeous. The metallics on their own do. You add the foil and it changes, a bit like with the lips. I just absolutely adore that. But I'm going to keep it a bit more realistic in the way I would finish the look, which is not to add any more sparkle to the inner corner. So I will stick with my standard Tom Ford black diamond and go into this one here. Just pop a little bit of brightness here. I think when you've got this much sparkle, it's so important with mature skin to just have that sort of smooth finish here. And I think you'll probably see straight away that this creates a better look than any of the other looks I showed you. Doing it this way. It's not that there was anything wrong with the other pens. I just was trying to show you the multiple ways you could try it. But I knew this would be my preferred way. So the next thing to do now will be to go in with mascara. And I did say liner as well, but I think I'm going to leave it there. I like the way the metallic has given me a bit of depth as a liner, and I don't actually feel like I need to add to this at all. I'm going to leave the look completely. And then I'll choose one of them as a highlighter and see if they can work as a highlighter. So I'll go off camera, do my mascara, and we'll be back to try that. So there's my final look with number 10. Look at it, just Just look at this gorgeousness. So many possibilities with these. I'm just going to finish. I've decided, I've looked through them all. This is the lightest one, number 1. I'm using the foil end because the metallics seem to all be quite deep, so I'm not sure if they were ever a suggestion as a highlighter. The foil seemed to be, but I don't know how I feel about a foil on my face. But let's just find out. So should I draw it? I don't think I'll draw it straight on. I think I will use my Mario F4 and take a little bit on the brush and then see if I can use this to highlight here, or will it just be way too much? Tiny bit was okay, but I think I need to be a bit more brave and put a bit more. Yeah, you can see the sparkle there. That's actually quite nice. It's just a little bit. I'm not going mad. Obviously you could really go mad with these. You could do all sorts of fancy looks, like that dreadful lip with the grey that I did earlier. I don't know if my camera actually cut off for that or not, because my battery ran out at one point. So if you missed me trying on the grey metallic, then trust me, I look like something out of a Halloween film. But that's how these could be good fun, if you wanted to use them for sort of special things like that. But this is a wearable highlight. You definitely see the sparkle. So you do need to be someone who's happy to have a little bit of obvious sparkle, but nothing too terrible. I quite like that actually. But you do need to be a bit careful with these foils, because when you put a brush to them, the foils in particular, certainly this one anyway, I think this was the one that was the most smushy out of all of them. They do smush a little bit. I've also realised that because I've been going in and out with concealer, I haven't set under my eyes or anything, but I don't actually feel like I need to today. So if I look a little bit too glowy, that's because nothing is currently set apart from a tiny area. Maybe I'll just do a little bit here. So that is my final look, trying these fabulous, fabulous Stix from Danessa Myricks. I absolutely adore them, as I'm sure you've seen, and I can't wait to play around with them in so many different ways. I think that there's hundreds of looks to get out of these. I really do. Using the foils on their own, metallics more lightly, more deeply, switching them around and switching number 1 and mixing it with number say 4 or something. I'm just plucking numbers out the air here. But I think there are just endless possibilities. I think it is so much fun. The formulas are sensational. They will not budge. They will stay there all day. I can vouch for that because I've tried the liquid formula. You've seen on my hand, they really do stay. But they also come off easily when you want to remove them. So there's something so magical about them. They feel creamy to the touch. They feel cooling, but they dry down quickly. But they're still easy to blend out. It's just almost like this shouldn't be allowed. How has Danessa done this? This is like nothing I've seen ever before. This is nothing like any eyeshadow stick I've ever used in my life. This is a completely, completely unique product, and it is absolutely incredible. Danessa, 1,000,000 out of 10. I don't think I've ever said that before, but honestly, that is what Danessa deserves, because this is a knockout. It really is. So there we are. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you enjoy things like this? Are they too much for you? Do you find the Danessa sparkle too much and this is just not your bag? But if you love sparkle, oh my goodness, you're going to love that. How can you not? You can appreciate it even if you don't like to wear it, because it is just so pretty. But yeah, the formulas, the thought behind it, incredible. I've absolutely loved trying these. So if you have enjoyed watching this and you found it helpful, I would love it if you hit that like button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But if you are, you're at the end of another review, and I really do appreciate you for being here, and I would love to see you all here again for my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.